Hello and welcome to another One Piece latest chapter review. A lot has happened in this chapter and it has become one of the most important chapters for future events. In this chapter we see many events such as Devil Fruit Awakening and so on. So let's start without any delay. Let's start with the cover page titled The Impermanence of All Things. In Buddhism texts, everything in human life, all objects as well as all beings whether in heavenly or hellish or earthly realms is always changing in constant or undergo rebirth. Given this explanation and what we saw in the last chapter, especially Killer against Hawking's fight, Oda clearly telling us that big changes are on the way. On the first page we see Appu sitting in a cave with 3 numbers behind him while he's talking to Drake. He offers Drake an alliance to take down Kaido. He adds that in the end whoever wins the battle will be very weakened and it will be easy to defeat him, and that this is the opportunity of the lifetime. The truth is, he is making a lot of sense here and his words are completely true and logical. He knows that Drake is a spy, and Appu on the other hand doesn't have a good relationship with the Beast Pirates, especially after how Queen treated him, so there is no need for them to fight each other. In addition, it is beneficial for both of them to kill Kaido as a marine and a rival pirate. Drake on the other hand is not a lot interested and responds, "Do you really think that I would trust you at this point? Well, Appu did betray Kid and Hawkins after all, and now he wants to do the same to Kaido, so there is no guarantee he wouldn't do the same to Drake if he gets the chance." This meeting is really interesting and the result will give us a lot of information about what kind of characters Appu and Drake have. And I actually like how Appu handling different situations. He's not moral, yes, but he acts more like a pirate than many other characters. Another thing that caught my eye are the 3 numbers behind Appu. These numbers look different from the numbers we saw in the previous episodes and they seem stronger and smarter. I really hope we get to know more about them and their purpose in cooperating with Appu. Elsewhere in the castle we see Nami and Usopp while escaping from the fire that is spreading in the castle, where they are suddenly confronted by a 2-legged monster. Usopp and Nami quickly recognize who it is. Yes, it is Kiyamon's legs. This scene is a throwback to Punk Hazard, in which Kiyamon was cut in half by law ability. Kiyamon is asking for help as he running around. Usopp tries to hold him and tell him, "I am your ally," but Keen can't hear him because legs don't have ears obviously. Nami cleverly draws the sign of the rebellion on his leg and Keen is convinced that he is in companion of his friend. Now Keen tells them that Okiku is barely alive and needs first aid. So now we find out that Okiku is alive also. Usopp takes Hamlet and rushes to help Keen. I think we will finally see the main battle of Usopp and Nami because I don't think that their work in this war is over. Keen, surprised by the fact that he survived and call it a miracle. He then explained that this may have happened because Law didn't stick him together properly. Meanwhile, we hear Orochi's voice, another person who supposedly had been killed, trying to contact Kanjuro. Keen is surprised that Orochi is alive, but this is not the end of his surprise. Kanjuro answers. Yes, that means Kanjuro is still alive too, despite being severely wounded and very close to dying. Honestly, I wasn't really surprised. This is not a new thing. We all know how Oda mostly skip unnecessary deaths, but I feel this time is a bit different cause in other situations we usually find out about them in the end of the arc. But now they still having a part in this war means we can expect that we see some actual deaths in this arc. Orochi orders Kanjuro to gather all his remaining strength and hatred and turn it into a fire to burn the whole Kazuki tribe with them. Kanjuro summons a fire demon named Kazembo, which burns everything and everyone in its path, and can pass through walls, also can't be harmed or shooted just like Perona Ghost did. In this chapter, Oda making a lot of references to Buddhism. Kazembo is a type of Japanese yokai, spirit monsters, and the translation of it means monk in the flame, which is another reference to Buddhism, because Kazembo was referred to failed monks. Orochi seems to know about the weapon depot and intend to blow it up using Kanjuro, but it turned out that he lied to Kanjuro. He have no plans to die alongside the others, but he's waiting for Fukurojuro to escape the castle with him. It seems that the more we get to know Orochi, the more we will hate him, and I really hope we get to see a sweet and satisfying revenge for all he has done. On the next page, we see a beautiful picture of everything that's happening in the palace. Cypherpole agents finally started to move and their target is Robin. Next, we see a beautiful half page of one-on-one battle of Straw Hat Monster Trio against Beast Pirate Monster Trio. After years of waiting, we finally getting to the part of the story that we had been waiting for so long. Then we see Yamato rushing towards the armory. Now, we can see that there are other reasons for Yamato to go there. In this situation, the best opponent to counter a fire yokai is the ice-based ability Mythical Wolf. And finally, we reach the most exciting part of the chapter. After a big explosion, we see Kid being thrown from the wall while Big Mam following him to finish him off. Meanwhile, we see a flashback of Kid talking to Law. Kid asks Law if he can awaken his ability. Surprisingly, Law answers yes he can, but he's not used to it and would only use it as a last resort because it drastically reduces his power. Kid meanwhile says that he is in the same situation, but they have no other option than using it, since they're not getting anywhere with their attacks. Yes, Kid and Law, our favorite non-Straw Hat Supernova, have both awakened their fruits. This is a big news, and now that we have it, it means we will see more awakening powers in not so far future. Law coats his sword with a new ability called Kroom, which creates a layer like his room on his sword and stab it into Big Mam's neck from behind. It seems that the stab itself doesn't do any damage, but Kroom creates a shockwave inside the enemy and damages them from within. Something like the power he used in his fight against the Flamingo. Next we see Big Mom's explode while smoke and blood coming out of her mouth. Now it's Kid's turn. He uses his ability to turn Big Mom into a magnet that causes all the metal objects including the tower beams to come towards her and hit Big Mom. Just before that, Kid asks Law to get him out of there. And it's so funny that Law keep asking Luffy and Kid not to tell him what to do, but then he go and do what they say. All the metal objects hit Big Mom in a high speed while Kid screams "Punk Crash."